Dank für die Sozialisten und
Thank you. For the S&D Group, Ms. Dodds.
Well, as another fresher, I'd like to warmly welcome you back to this committee as our Commissioner for Competition, Madam Vestager. I'm looking forward to working with you on a whole range of issues, but I'm afraid I do want to come back to this essential matter about the relationship between taxation and competition. I've listened to all your responses very carefully, but I think there are three issues to me that remain. First of all, as you will know, it took a team of 80 journalists 6 months to uncover the details of the LuxLeaks scandal. So really, I'd like you to put some more meat on the bones, please, about how things will change in the future so the Commission doesn't seem to be finding out details of these issues through the press rather than through its own investigations. In particular, can you please let us know how, in practical terms, you and your officials will work with Commissioner Moscovici and his officials in concert to tackle tax avoidance? Secondly, what will you do to empower your DG to take proactive action to identify abuses of state aid in the taxation field, going beyond the cases that already exist? But finally, and I think this is a fundamental issue, obviously you've talked a lot about how where there's collusion between states and firms, that causes problems because it's a form of state aid. But I have to say, I find a situation where some firms are paying close to 0% tax inherently anti-competitive. And that's not just my point of view, that's the point of view of businesses in my constituency. And I can say for many of them, they're in crisis at the moment. I mean, I know small cafes who are going to the wall because they can't compete with some of the big players who are shifting tax, independent record stores, which again are going bust because they just cannot compete in tax terms with firms which are almost paying zero tax. To me, that's inherently anti-competitive. Now, you've talked about changing the public debate, but I would really like to make a plea to you, please today, you as a figurehead for competition, please can you work with us to change the debate around taxation so it's recognised that going beyond state aid, this is a matter about competition and it is fundamentally harming competition right across Europe and particularly SMEs. Thank you.
Ms. Commissioner, please.
One of the very important things in making progress is to work with member states and to get the information that we ask from member states. Which is also the reason why, as we touched upon earlier, that we have asked some member states for a lot of information. Some being, how can I put it, a little reluctant. At least so reluctant that we had to ask the court to make them give us the information needed. Luckily, cooperation have improved since then, and I do hope that it will improve even more. I think it is in everybody's interest that we have a very close cooperation with authorities in the member states. This is a very sort of concrete thing, because then you get information in, you get some information from the publication of the leaked papers, but you need to have sort of a full overview. And what we are going to do is, of course, to continue with the tax task force. Very difficult. Maybe we should rename it. Well, anyway, but so that the tax force is working with other staff in DG Comp, so they're not left alone with this task, because there will be information which is important that can be gathered in the rest of my service, so that we can add resources to their work when it is needed. But I know it may be sort of annoying, but I still think that it's very important to take structured steps in order to be wiser and to gain more experience. And what we did on the 4 open cases, now the decisions are public on 2 of them. On the 3rd, it will be public this week, which will be the opportunity for third parties to comment. And that is also a very important source of information. So if more third parties would comment on these open investigations, that would be a help as well, because then you get more information and then you can progress faster. And of course, I realize what you say, and I share some of your feelings, but we have accepted that there is a by-the-front-door tax competition, and we have accepted that it takes unanimity to change that on a European level. And that is one of the reasons why I think we have a lot of debate ahead of us.